Welcome back to the fatherhood journey. And so today's topic is about how to travel with kids. What tips and tricks are there in traveling with your kids, especially with toddlers? So I normally get asked from my friends that have newborn kids, how do we travel with our boys? Because we always make it look so easy traveling with our boys. So how did we get them to be calm? You know, we all know that toddlers can't sit still for like 5 minutes. And so what I think helped us in the beginning was that Noah was a bit older, so he's able to watch his iPad, and he loves watching his iPad, and he loves playing games on his iPad. So that kind of was easy for us to do. And I think the thing is that most parents these days do is to give their child the iPad, and it does help. And I know there are a lot of parents that are against it. And so I'm not against it. If it's going to help us travel easier, I'm all for it. He can watch as much iPad as he wants or play games on his iPad while we are traveling by plane. And I would rather want him to do that than sitting on my lap and kicking and screaming because we're not playing with him and there's nothing for him to do and just being bored. The one tip that I can give parents for traveling with their kids is their ears. So when taking off, obviously in altitude, your ears will block. Now there are certain ways that what you can do for the ears not to be blocked, and one way is eating. So giving them a soft sweet to chew on helps to keep the ears open. Especially with Noah, we had to give him a lot of these little sweets that he can chew so that it keeps his ears open. With Ezekiel, it was a bit easier because he had grommets in his ears, so grommets opens up the ears, so he doesn't need to try and equalize. Well, kids can't equalize, but he didn't have any problems because his ears are open from the grommets. But with Noah, we had to give him some sweets, and once their ears are cleared, they feel better and they are able to do a lot more. And I've seen it on the plane where kids scream literally for 30-40 minutes because their ears are so sore. And my wife even had her ears blocked, and it was so sore for her that I could see the pain that she was experiencing just because of her blocked ears. So that is a key tip in helping your child to be more comfortable while traveling on a plane. Number 3 is to buy them these funny looking headphones with little bears on them or whatever. Just buy them a set of headphones that they can sit with their iPad or little Game Boy or whatever. Just buy them a nice pair of headphones that they can sit, because they will feel that this is something that they like and they enjoy, so they're gonna want to use it, so they will rather sit and watch or play games with. If it's at night, try and prolong their naps, that they don't take a nap if it's a nighttime flight, so that they will sleep through the flight. When we went to Mauritius, we tried to put the boys to sleep a little bit earlier, so that when we had to go and fly at night, they were able to just sleep as normal, like their normal bedtime. So going there, it really helped, but coming back, it didn't help, or going there didn't help, but coming back it kind of helped. I don't know, can't remember the exact thing, but one of the ways they ended up not sleeping, and it was quite rough on the mom and dad, or they did sleep but they couldn't, but we didn't sleep properly. So one of the ways is to just prolong their nap so that they can actually take a nap on the plane. And then number 5, when you are at an airport, we bought these little body thingies that go over their chest with it sounds bad, but it has a little leash on. So in today's society, you need to keep your child close to you. They can't just run off on the airport. It is very dangerous. So we kept our little boys on a leash, and they loved it. They loved that little thing. They think it's the coolest thing. Noah kept playing with it because he thought like, this is so cool that he's like on a little leash and he's trying to run away and we just holding him. So we created a little game with them while wearing that, so that they don't just feel that they're on a leash and we're just pulling them and all of that. And they look so cute with those little leashes, and yeah, they really enjoyed it, and it's one of the ways that you can also travel so much easier with your children. And then number 6 is buy them a little suitcase with the wheels on it, and that you can pull it, because they would want to either sit and ride on it, or they would want to pull their own suitcase. And so you can pack their clothes in that little suitcase, and then they can pull it, or you can pull them on the suitcase, and they also really enjoy it. So it makes going from terminal to terminal a lot easier, because you have this little wheelie thing that you can pull them on, and they think it's also the coolest thing ever. And then the last tip is to not be so structured with them while traveling, because they are annoyed, they are bored, they just want to go and explore the world. So do not be so structured with them. Obviously be structured when you have to check in and do all of these things, but then when you're waiting, you can actually just walk around with them and let them explore a little bit, or let them play on the carpet in front of you. So don't be too structured, because otherwise they get bored and annoyed, and then they're just gonna end up crying and screaming, and that's not something that you want. We left our boys, and they were playing in front of us, and they were like wrestling each other, and it was just fun for them. And we thank God for our for my sister-in-law, because she is so great with kids, and she was handling them perfectly. So I guess the last tip would be to have someone that is able to play with the kids, and to also do some activities with them, where with the mom and dad, then they can just sit and relax and gather their energy back up again to handle the kids while they have to sit next to them on the plane. So having someone with you to travel with you is a great way for the mom and dad to relax a little bit, because now it's up to them to play with the boys. And so I hope this helped. I know it's a shorter video, but I hope this has helped. Let me know if you have any other tips for traveling with your kids on planes and traveling far with them. And then I'll see you tomorrow.